Welcome back, everybody. We don't have video. There we go. Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2. It's a best out of 5 between Zenith and Orange. Orange playing without Ohio, but still looking great in game 1. They take it. They're going to start this draft with a Nyx Assassin. We rarely see this hero slip through. I'm LD Beyond the Summit. This, of course, is the SEA League, the Grand Finals, and I'm bright. And I'm here today. Oh, man, I'm all over the place. And I'm here today with Cinderin. Cinderin, how you doing?
I'm good, and I'm looking very much forward to this game, just as much as the first one. Obviously because, well, at the end of the day, it was kind of a one-sided game, although it looked like it was going to set out to be an even one in the beginning. But I think Zenith, they're really hungry for revenge right now, and must have a plan with giving away this Nyx Assassin. What I want to point out is, it's something we talked about in the first draft, that Keeper of the Light got through the first 3 bans and picks, or well, through the entire draft, I think. It might not even have been banned at all.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Here, Orange are banning it in the first 2, and that just goes to show maybe they have something in mind that revolves around pushing now. Because seemingly they didn't care about it last time, and why would they suddenly switch around this much? They're also banning the Rubik this game, which they had themselves. Maybe it's just because they're first pick and they feel like they can ban other heroes because of that. But could also be because they have another plan in mind. Doesn't look like it. Shadow Demon and Queen of Pain, not really push-oriented at all, so might have.
This is Orange, you silly
That's
goose.
a hypothesis shot down right there.
Of course they're going to pick Queen of Pain every game. And I like this from Orange.
Tinker.
We saw them going to the Meg. We were talking before the game, and I said Zenith loves their split push. So we should be seeing, I imagine, an X Freedom Tinker. He normally plays it. I think XY does as well, so we could see XY on it. But X Freedom is the one certainly most well known for his Tinker. We'll see, though. He's been on that support role. But either way, classic Zenith. And now we have Tinker Bombs. I mean, it's rather a dangerous hero to throw into the middle of the fight. But if he gets that Blink Dagger, it could be an option with the Lifesteal. So already quite a mobile lineup for Zenith. But Tinker, up against Nyx Assassin, this is a confident pick. Nyx Assassin is one of those heroes that can really make life hell for Tinker.
Yeah, I don't think... the question is if Orange has the plan of putting Queen of Pain mid right now, because that's a hero Tinker does pretty well against. The laser disallows her from really harassing that much. Sure, she can get the Shadow Strike off, but can't really get the right clicks in with the laser on. 3-second blind is more than enough to get Tinker away, but... what if they put the Nyx Assassin mid against Tinker? It's something I've tried myself, and it's really painful playing against that mana burn. Tinker has such a huge base end, and that mana burn just destroys your laning presence. In the first 3 minutes, you're out of mana. It's horrible.
It's actually, I mean, he's really powerful against intelligence solos, like you're mentioning. The only reason I'd say I don't expect it is because they have Queen of Pain, and I just can't imagine Muchi not taking that mid. But, I mean, like you said, it's not an easy matchup for Queen of Pain, especially if you go Laser Rockets build. She's rather squishy. Laser can really disrupt your last hitting, and if you ever get low, any sort of gank can spell your doom. But we'll see. I'd be surprised not to see the Queen of Pain mid. And the other thing to consider is it's Mushi who pretty much has to go mid. I think one of the reasons they're not sending Kachik Imba mid is it's one of the most challenging roles in the game. When you're that safe lane carry, if your supports do a good job, you don't have to make the big decisions or movements. It's a little bit easier for less experienced player in general, I would say. Especially in the early games. So I think they want the veteran Mushi going there. But we'll see. It's always possible.
Remaining.
I gotta say, Kachi has been playing so well in those hard carries, so I don't see any reason to just change their plans at this point. And yeah, as far as Zenith goes, I'm still wondering, and the reason I'm wondering this is because Yamata is playing for them. I mean, they could run a Corelish rack. It's one of Yamata's favorite heroes, and we've seen it time and time again. The only thing speaking against it here really is that there's a Nyx again on the other side, and if you build a Lesh as a core hero, that mana burn just destroys you. And arguably playing the Leshrac as a core would mean they already have their 3 cores and would need to pick 2 supports now. So it's an option they have. I won't say it's not going to happen, but it's not going to happen, I guess.
It kind of feels like Zenith views it as a core, though, because they ban mostly supports here. Sven could be a carry, but not something we really see Zenith do. If Zenith were to pick that, it would most likely be a support. So I think Orange maybe is expecting it to be a farmer. And, well, it's a hero that does struggle a bit against Queen of Pain. You can't really rune control versus her, and is very gankable. That's one of the reasons. If we saw it, it probably would... I mean, either way, if you have Leshrac and Tinker, one of those squishy heroes is going mid if they're your 2 solos. So that would be a bit risky, I feel, against Shadow Demon and Nyx.
Yeah, and it looks like Orange, they don't care about the Lone Druid. They dealt with it well in the last game, and they're going to give it away again if Zenith won. This is... This is kind of unusual, I feel, for Asian games and, well, for Western games for that matter as well, that Lone Druid is completely ignored in the ban pick phase. It's just not a part of the game now, and I think Orange are just like, well, so Ice had his offlane Lone Druid last game. They didn't really have superb support. Wow, okay, we'll get to that in a moment. They didn't have superb supports against it, but they still dealt with him very well in that game, and they're confident with giving that away. And now I think we've sealed that Leshrac is the support. They're picking Necrolite. Why would you pick Necrolite against these heroes? There's a mixed assassin, there's burst damage, there's lots of control. This is all the stuff Necrolite can't deal with in one lineup. This is a ballsy pick, and they have to have a good plan with that.
Well, I imagine what their plan is the safe lane Necrolite, trying to get that 1v1 versus Darkseer, then the offensive trying with Lifesteal Shrek +1, and then Tinker mid. We did see some of the Chinese teams try to do this in G League, where they give the Necrolite the safe lane, and it was against Darkseer specifically, and apparently from what I was told by some of the LGD guys, they actually think it's a matchup that Necrolite can do well in. And a lot of the teams have been experimenting with it. That being said, the Necrolite did horribly every game, even though supposedly it works in scrims. So I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not convinced. Sinner, apparently your mic's too loud in game still, according to some people.
I don't know. Which setting am I supposed to tweak? It's the voice volume, right?
If you right-click on your Steam in the bottom right on your taskbar, and then go to voice.
Oh, really? You have to do it outside the game?
Yeah. So you may have to minimize for a second, but it's in your Steam settings. There's a microphone volume bar. It's separate from Dota 2, but it affects the volume in game.
I'm at it. I'll just crash my Dota 2 as well.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. It's back. Good. Okay. Oh, come on. All right, you go on.
Well,
this is...
in the meantime, it looks like Orange is debating that last pick, and they were banning all of Kachik Imba's heroes in that second stage, which they do expect the Queen of Pain to go mid. They expect it to be Mushi Quap, and what does Kachik Imba go for here? There is a lone Druid. It's not a hero we've seen him play often. The sort of those team fight controllers, the split pushers that aren't micro heroes, really. It's more what Kachik Imba's been playing, so I wonder what they have in mind, and it's got to be a powerful carry because they are up against a very strong mid to late game lineup. If Zenith can get the start they're hoping for, it's going to be a juggernaut.
Oh, this is so nice.
So they're looking to really punish this Necrolite pick.
Okay, so thanks a lot to the chat for the feedback. I've tried to turn it down now, so hopefully it's better. LD can't hear any difference, of course, because in Skype this doesn't go through, but the in-game volume should be lower now. Please let me know. But yeah, my main concern with the whole Necrolite against Darkseer matchup that I want to get to is Darkseer's dream world is one in which he 1v1s in the offlane and can creep skip. It's where he just goes between the two towers and holds the lane and gets every last hit, and the enemy carry has to farm under the tower. Necrolite is arguably one of the worst heroes in the game at dealing with that. He's got slow movement speed, no slow, no stun, no nuke, nothing to stop Darkseer from doing this. And if that's the scenario, I mean, sure, Necrolite will get pretty good farm under his tower, but Darkseer will get everything. He can even pull the creep wave up to the jungle and farm the jungle with that, and Necrolite can do nothing about it. So I personally don't think this is a good idea for Zenith to run Necrolite one-on-one against Darkseer. I don't see it working, to be honest. It's okay, but it's never going to be a win.
And if they even get that, because we could see Neo.Orange go offensive tri-lane versus the Necrolite, and he can't do a thing against that. Darkseer, is he really going to die to Lifestealer Leshrac? Probably not. If they get a really good follow-up stun, I mean, who's left? I guess there's a Rubik, and a rather level-dependent support to go aggressive with. Let's see what they do. Zenith still needs probably that 5-position support.
Remaining.
No? Okay. So what? Support Naga, I believe.
I don't even know.
Oh, it's X-Freedom. It's X-Freedom, so it is going to be a support Naga. This is something the Pinoy teams love to do, but it's very odd when you already have open wounds. I guess it's a double melee tri-lane.
I guess the logic behind this is two things. They need the ensnare to... It's obviously one of the best counters to Juggernaut in the laning phase because it goes through his magic immunity because it's coded in a special way like a physical ability based on the Warcraft 3 engine. So you can ensnare Juggernaut even when he's spinning and he just spins in the whatever place he's in. So that's good. As far as it goes with synergy, with their lineup later on with Song of the Siren, they can sing and then drop 2 marches on top of that. That deals a shitload of damage, believe me. That's really good. And, well, the problem for them with that is, if they're going aggressive trial lane and this fails, they have nothing to fall back on, I feel. Because, like I said, the top lane Darkseer is going to have a wonderful time. Queen of Pain mid against Tinker is going to be fairly even. And that means if this bottom lane fails, they're effectively possibly losing 3 lanes, or at least losing 2 and drawing 1, perhaps. But it's risky, but I love to see this coming out of Zenith. And of course, Naga, can work as a support. Her nuke is really high damage on level 1. 130 physical damage with 2 armor reduction for the Lifestealer to munch on. That's really good.
And it even works with Edict. We'll see if he goes for the Edict build. Normally the support Lashraks go for Lightning, but there's not really that much push, so we could see Edict, I feel. Either way, quickly, let's introduce the teams. We have Yamate on the offlane Lifestealer. Mushi got the best of him in round 1, but Team Mushi hasn't won this one yet. Team Yamate could strike back. We have X Freedom on the Naga Siren. We have Ice on the Lashrak. Solo mid is going to be XY on the Tinker rushing that bottle. And they are going for that safe lane 1v1 matchup. Ice, tons of regen. 6 tangos, 2 healing salves. He's expecting that Darkseer. He knows he's going to need the regen. Let's see if he can make it work, and I'll just make it easy for you, Sin. On the Orange side, we have KYXY on the offlane Darkseer. We have Mushi going solo mid on his classic Quap. We have Net on the Shadow Demon. They're actually going to go here at level 1. Oh, nope, just denying the rune. Extinct on the support Nyx. Oh, the Courier actually ran into the midst of that. Good thing there wasn't a dire ward there. They might have been able to get the kill on the Courier. And Kachik Imba, the stand-in, is going to be playing that Juggernaut at the safe lane.
Yeah, I mean, this bottom lane is definitely going to be the lane to watch. I hope I'm still going through. Something is really messing up right now. Am I good?
I mean, you're fine for me. If you have auto-adjust and Skype down, I mean, maybe it's not the time to do it now, but I think disabling that and then just getting the volumes right is generally better, but it might be.
I think I'm going to restart Dota 2, you know what, because it's freezing in some weird way. I don't know if it's because
that's fine.
I'll be right back.
Alright, well, in the meantime, guys, we are going to see the Darkseer's creep skipping. Actually, no, sorry, not creep skipping. I think he already did earlier, and now the lane's quite pushed back. So KYXY, not only can he push the lane, but he can also farm the enemy neutral, so he can really get a massive golden experience advantage. He's even going to start going on an Ice. Ice is only level 1. He's going to take a lot of damage from this Ion Shell, and meanwhile the creeps are dying to the tower, so he's missing experience. That's why this matchup is normally so difficult on paper for something like a Necrolite to handle. I would love to see someone show me how it's supposed to work, because every time I see it, it's just the Darkseer creep skipping getting absolute free farm. Over in the middle lane, Mushi, level 2, is not farming particularly well, neither is XY, and the tri-lane, it looks like there was de-warding. They got rid of that lane ward, which was placed about here. Syndran's going to disconnect, hopefully he'll be back soon. And they did not actually ward off the camp. They didn't even foray into the enemy jungle, so there's pulling. Extinct's going to hit level 2. And my question is, who do you go on in this tri-lane? You don't really want to go on Nyx, because he's got Spike Carapace, and he can be disrupted. Why are we pausing?
If they're pausing for me, tell them not to.
I think they were going to pause for you. But, I mean, yeah, who do you go on? You can't really... You got to go on the Shadow Demon, or you're just going to get that disruption off. But if there's always the... If you try to go on the Juggernaut, you can't really affect him with the magic ability. Sure, you can net him, but then you got to kill him. This orange lane, it's hard to actually find the kills, and this tri-lane that Zenith is running is a killing tri-lane. It's not a pushing tri-lane. We've seen IG run those a lot with the Windrunner, Keep of the Light +1, early rate of Basilius, constant pressure on the tower. This tri-lane is designed to do one thing, and that's to kill. They don't have a smoke either, so they can't leave the lane. It does feel like Orange is in a pretty good position. Darkseer's already 15-0. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
He's going to get Everlasted.
And he's going to farm the enemy neutrals too.
Yep, perfect. That's exactly what he needs to do right there. So he's playing the lane correctly. I'm not sure how much Necrolite has, for the simple reason that I'm not in the game. I'm almost there now, though. It's loading up. Hopefully I fixed my problem. But yeah, I mean, the Necrolite, what's he sitting on? He will be losing CS under the tower, but if he does... Yeah, if he does well, he'll only lose maybe 25% or less. I mean, it's ideal to not lose anything, but that's almost impossible with the random damage of the tower. And now he's putting pressure on KYXY, actually. He needs to be a little bit careful now. He's out of regen. Surprised that happened so fast, but
he's got
he must have
something
something
on the
coming
way.
out.
It's a
Soul
completed Soul Rain. Really needs a salve as well, though.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Mushi has his bottle. Should really be able to rune control on this lane. Double damage is picked up by XY, who's going... Well, actually 2 points of March. Not leveling up Laser Rocket. So, I mean, it's a Zenith Tinker. You expect a split push. You don't really expect a lot of early killing. Although, they are running this kill tri-lane, so we'll see.
Very aggressive by Mushi there. He uses all his mana on Blink level 2, screaming a Tinker who has DD on into melee range. And takes just as much damage as XY does, but just trying to put some pressure, I guess.
One thing I would really like to see from Zenith is one of these supports pulling the neutrals, stacking them, because you're running a March Tinker. I'm surprised they're not doing it at all yet. And also, Lifestealer is very difficult to go on. There's really nothing Orange could do to guarantee a kill as long as he gets rage off, but they're not doing it yet, I guess.
Yeah, any kill on this bottom lane is pretty much going to be based off mistakes to a larger degree than what you usually see, because like you say, both lanes have good counter initiation. There's the Rage on Nakes, there's the Ensnare on the Naga to deal with the Juggernaut, and then the other side has Disruption and an AoE stun from Extinct, so... And, well, Juggernaut Spin. So it's really hard to find the kill, and it's going to be about who gets the farm, and in that regard, they're pretty even. So it's kind of a little bit of a stalemate here, and neither team is able to pull.
Mushi's got a haste. He's diving XY. He knows that he's going for this March build, I feel, because he's still chasing. Uh-oh. XY's taking a lot of damage. He does have a level 2 Scream. If he was level 5, he could definitely get the kill. He may go for it anyway, but he gets lasered into the tower. Mushi has 1 bottle charge left, but he's not going to commit to this. Oh, that was close. If Mushi was level 5, that's our first blood right there.
Yeah, he could have tried for it, but yeah, XY, interesting to see him getting the level 2 laser at this point. Might feel like he needs to be able to put the, not only pushing pressure on Mushi, but also have that high damage nuke. But what we generally see from Tinkers going for this build is 1 point in laser, just for the blind, and then you max the 2 others. But he's getting the 2 points in laser, which is rather unconventional.
This is why I always call Mushi a one-position mid, because he's very needy. He's ferrying the bottle, he's ferrying himself salves, and he pays it back later on. But we do see he requires that courier quite a bit, which is why it's good that they have a Darkseer in the offlane who doesn't really need it that much, just for the Soul Rain, and then he can build the Tranquil Boots. The side shot, but Necrolite actually not doing badly at all. I mean,
he could be in trouble though. Actually, Ice could be in a lot of trouble right now. KYXY is going to go in.
There's no ult yet, or he could maybe turn this around when KOXY starts diving the tower. There is an Ion Shell, he may put it on the creeps. No, Ice is actually manning up, but he can't, he shouldn't be able to get this kill. Actually, maybe he can, no, he's not going to, but wow. Really, KOXY just a little bit over-eager there, I feel, and takes a lot of damage.
That was first blood if he didn't get the tower aggro, but it went on him instead of the creeps because, yeah, he was close enough in for the tower to target him. He decided, or he made sure that he didn't attack the Necrolite, but just run next to him with the Iron Shell on. But he still got the tower aggro, and else that would have been really good for him. But surprisingly, Ice now up on this top lane, effectively out-leveling Darkseer by quite a bit now.
Yeah, a lot. I think a decent amount of this farm from KYXY, maybe the neutrals. Well, he's going to continue.
Surprised to see this going so well.
Yeah,
I really didn't expect it.
I'm actually going to go back and watch this replay and see exactly what he's been doing. I think a lot of it goes down. He started with 400 gold worth of regen, which you really need to deal with that Darkseer.
Man, Darkseer might have started with a little too little regen, because he ran out very fast, and I don't think Necrolite can generally challenge him that well on it, but maybe I just have to eat my words. I was expecting this to be a one lane, but it's... At best, maybe it's a draw for Darkseer right now.
Mushi is winning the middle lane. He's by a little bit, and we're also not seeing Ancient stacking, so that Tinker isn't going to have really the comeback potential, or the catch-up potential that he normally would. And he is definitely going for March. He's got 3 points in the top lane. There's a dive, though. This might be the death of Ice. There is no more Ion Shells, but Ice. Oh, if he had enough mana for another Ion Shell, that was such first blood.
Yeah. But he's going to keep putting the pressure on. That's the problem for Ice now. I think he has to go back to base, because Darkseer, he's got the Tranquil Boots now, so we'll keep regenning, we'll keep using the Soul Ring for these free Iron Shells, and unless if the Necrolite gets a lot of last hits all the time, he can't support this 185 mana cost for 130 healing on the Death Pulse.
I was also told, I forget who I was casting with that said this, that you're supposed to get a point in Heartstopper aura, and I also forget the explanation for it, but no one I see him doing it has actually gone for it. Well, I mean, it seems to be working out the way that he's building. So, oh, yeah, I believe it was Bulba who said that, although I don't think he had a chance to explain when I was casting with him. I'll have to ask him after this game. And oh, here comes the net on lane. Kachika is in a little bit of trouble. He will Blade Fury, and that's sort of the question.
No way.
That's sort of the question, even if you can hold him in place. How do you kill? Well, this is how, if he sticks around too long, there's a disruption. There's nice disruption on the Lifestealer rather than the Juggernaut, but I don't think it's going to be enough. First blood for Zenith. Mushi is here. What can he do in response? Yamate's only level 5. He will rage. He's got to get a TP. He's got the stick charges. He may be able to live through this. Yamate, oh, he's low, but Mushi doesn't have the vision.
Such a good play.
Wow.
And yeah, it did come down to what I expected. Like I said earlier on, whoever dies first in this lane is going to be because of some really big mistake. Not just a mistake, but one that really matters. And Juggernaut, he used his spin but stuck around and effectively just stayed way too far in and eventually got killed. And even Mushi TPing down there without getting the kill on Yamate, that's a big deal. That's Tinker getting free space in middle, catching up on the lost lane, although he's still really far behind. But That was a big loss for Zenith right there.
Once the Necrolite gets to level 8, once it gets to level 6, then you really have to be careful about this creep skipping. And the one danger with creep skipping is if support arrives, and the Cavalry has in the form of ice. Let's see what he can make happen here. And they're not really going to be able to go in mid because, well, it's a lifestealer, and they don't have a way to deal with him. So this game, it is shaping up to be a good start for Zenith. KYXY, he's got to search away. Will there be a Necrolite ult to stop? Nope, not yet. Now max range. There you go. The Split Earth not in range, though. KYXY, well, doesn't want to tank the tower. The lightning chasing him, but there's no mana on Ice Ice Ice, even with the tower treads. Now he just, or the entrance, now he just gets it. Oh boy, that was close. And bottom lane. Now we're going on the Yamate. Perfect stun. He didn't get the rage off. Now he does. Now he does. He'll get away. Boy, they just cannot kill him. There's just no way.
It's going to be a big change once Juggernaut hits level 6 for Orange. Yeah, I have to apologize for earlier. I think it was a big loss for Zenith what happened bottom. It was a big win for them, in fact. It was Orange who rotated Mushi from mid and also lost the hero bottom. But the Juggernaut ulti is a big deal. And he's going to get it before Naix gets the Infest. And that means if they can target him out, if they can single him out, they might be able to kill him. Oh, actually might try. No, they're not going in. And they're securing the 6 now on Juggernaut.
Yeah, and of course that does go through Magic Immunity. You can't Infest dodge away from it when you don't have Infest. We'll have to see if he goes for it here. There's just leaving 3 supports. And there is an Observer Ward, which has not been dewarded. It's been here for quite a while. And Ice Ice Ice, so how do you feel about the trades we're seeing so far? Mushi trading far mid with the Tinker. The Tinker is actually quite far behind. Oh, no, we're not going to go.
Well, seeing how much Necrolite is getting, I think this top lane is going really well for Zenith. Better than I thought it would. But the mid lane, they're losing out pretty much big time. He's almost got twice the farm on Queen of Pain as XY does on Tinker. And that's even though he's going for the March build, which generally puts a lot of pressure and gives you a lot of CS in that mid lane. So Mushi has just really outplayed XY in mid. There's nothing more to say to that. As far as bot lane goes, how are we looking for that? Juggernaut ahead by 6 CS. That's pretty much a draw as well. So I think overall this favors Orange, but Zenith, Necrolite with free farm, we know how beastly he can get later on in the game.
Ice Ice Ice. Even got the tower denied top. KYXY wasn't even going to contest that. He knows if he dies to that tower, he'll just get ulted and then heal bombed. He might actually die here anyway. Where's that ult? Where's that ult? He's not going to use it yet. Feels he's just a little bit short, and, well, he might be. He's still chasing, though. No, he's going to back off in the end. And, well, the one thing that we should mention, Synerin, is even if Zenith was behind, they have a very good comeback lineup, because Tinker can just stall the game forever if he's not too vulnerable. And Extinct's not even level 6. The Nyx just hits it now. But if the Tinker can stall the game while the Lifestealer gets some farm, and even the Naga with just a little bit can become quite a nuisance. And, well, Necrolite's getting a lot. He's working towards the mech.
Yeah, it's definitely for sure. If this one goes very late, my money is on Zenith as well. I mean, right now they're behind by 1500 XP and 2500 gold, so Orange is taking a commanding lead, and Mushi just gets a solo kill in mid here as well on the Tinker, so it's like Orange need to ride the momentum at this point. They need to keep putting pressure, because if they don't, they're trading Juggernaut farm for Lifestealer, and they're trading Darkseer farm for Necrolite. And although Queen of Pain is beating Tinker, he will catch up at some point and cause trouble. And you've just got to say, in late game potential, there's no carry on the Radiant that can deal with this. A Necrolite who is not facing a single real damage carry apart from a Juggernaut, if he gets a Ghost Scepter later on, he's going to be hard to deal with, even with Mana Burn and Queen of Pain. With the right timing and the right tank items, Ice 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 is going to be impossible to kill.
That was a crucial kill by the Queen of Pain. She delayed the Boots of Travel and Tinker, and he was really close. In fact, he would pretty much have them right now. And it looks like Darkseer is actually rotated towards the bottom lane, and Ice 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 says, great, I'll start pushing top. And that is the one thing about the Necrolite. Until he gets this mech, he can't really directly help the other lanes. He's got to do it indirectly by creating pressure top, but he's done it. Now, well, Darkseer forced to back off, and Orange just trading. Mushi is rushing that Orchid again, I believe. He's already got the Robe of Magi #1 out. He could get that first Oblivion Staff. He's going to have it a lot earlier. And this is a much poorer lifestealer than we saw last game.
Yeah, and it's such a good item against a hero like Necrolite, because the way Necrolite works, he might have to get a BKB at some point because of the Radiant spell damage. If he doesn't tank up so hard that the Ghost Scepter that he can actually survive through that, it's kind of a dilemma with that hero. Do you want the spell immunity or do you want the physical resistance? Because bottom line, Necrolite, he needs to stay alive during the fight for a long time. He's actually being initiated on up top, but I think he's going to be fine with Naga coming in. Yeah, he's going to be all good.
That was
actually turning on net here.
That was almost the longest range net of his life, and now not defensive disruption by net. In comes Mushi though, and Mushi with a head full of steam. He wants, nope, he's got the Oblivion Step. They're not gonna go. Net goes back in. Mushi runs out. A little miscommunication here from these two, it looks like. But in the end, nobody's gonna fall. Everything was dewarded bottom, so Lifestealer gets some time to farm safely. Yamate has his drums now. Is going for that phase drums, just the very mobile Lifestealer. And against heroes like Queen of Pain as well as Darkseer, this is a good way to help chase them down.
And to finish off my trail from before, the reason I think Orchid is a really good choice for Mushi here is Necrolite is a hero who's really based on stats, and you can't really go for a BKB early because you need such a big mana pool to even be able to be useful in the fight. So he won't have the BKB to break the Orchid, and that means Mushi can get that long duration silence onto him, and a Necrolite who's silenced is almost completely worthless. Again, he has the Lifestealer as well as a target, and I think Ice is actually going to be in a lot of trouble right now. Darkseer is coming in, Mushi is going to open with the Shadow Strike. And here's going to be a Sonic Wave, I think. Does he have the mana? Yes, he does. It's going to be a Ice taken down, and that's the way you deal with Necrolite. Gang him early on before he gets too tanky.
Yeah, smart play by Orange as well. They knew the supports had just used their TPs to come top. It is off cooldown now, but the lane was pretty far pushed up, and, well, that tier 1 dying early, that's the one downside, is if you want to farm past your tower, you're going to be there without protection. And they've already lost the tier 1 mid, now the tier 1 top, the tier 2 top is in trouble. And the net continues to kind of be closed here. XY, Boots of Travel are up, Soul Ring coming soon. But the question is, will he actually be able to go, and he doesn't have the blink yet until he gets it. Oh, they're going in on bottom lane on the Yamate. That crit does a good amount of damage. Now there's a net, but he can Blade Fury to ensure that there's no kill attempt here anyway. Not gonna... That looks like they're gonna back off in the end. Here comes a TP from Taker. XY, he hasn't
Might
gone.
have a secondary attempt. Still 10-second cooldown on the Blade Fury. That is enough to go in, but miscommunication again. It's a little bit of what we saw in Game 1, isn't it? It's like they're not on the same page with what they want to do in the fights, and basically XY is wasting a lot of time here right now. I'm sure he's going to march, but yeah, he should have got a kill out there.
He could be stacking farm agents. Also, he might just die here. He gets disrupted. The Impale could be there to follow up. Extinct, Unleashed. No, he gets Split Earth, and it disrupts the Impale. Now Mushi jumps in, but he may have jumped into his doom. Yamate's gonna kill off his former teammate. He gets a little revenge, but will it be enough? Juggernaut already used the Omni Slash. It looks like there's a 2-hero vacuum. KYXY's here. He's got the mech. Yamate needs to infest a creep. No, he's not gonna go for it. He's gonna keep on running. Get inside a creep, Yamate. Get inside a creep, Yamate. He pops out. Will he look to TP? There's no Omni Slash, but there is a vacuum in 10 seconds. Oh, I don't think he knows that the vacuum's on cooldown because he's just gonna walk away. Oh, those creeps.
Yeah, and just as I say that Tinker wasn't worth it, he still gets 2 or 3 marches off, and surprisingly, Orange tried to fight inside that and don't get the kill off. Mushi too aggressive on that initiation. It's something we've seen from him a couple of times in that Queen of Pain. Really wants to go in, and sometimes he just pays for it. Just got eaten alive by that Lifestealer, and well, they lost a 2-0 fight, and Ice is free farming and pushing top, and he's got the highest creep score in the game right now on that Necrolite. If this goes on, we said Orange had to ride the momentum, and if they get locked down like this in just a couple of fights, it's not looking good for them for the mid game.
Well, they do have the tower advantage. What I would really like to see is this Nyx Assassin, played by Extinct, getting active around the map. That's been the story for Orange, is Extinct and Net just having superior movement compared to the enemy supports. That's why Orange is here in the finals. And, I mean, these are 2 of the premier supports, if not the 2 best outside of China in Asia, then certainly up there. But we haven't really seen this Nyx Assassin get too active around the map, and it looks like that he's going to start. But... well, it might be too late because Ice is TP bottom with his mech and cloak. Maybe going for the pipe. Very tanky already. And once he gets some HP, it's going to be very hard to bring down. They're pressuring this tower.
Yeah, and this is a good decision from Zenith because the situation they're in right now, they have such a good brute force lineup. Tinker's March, Necrolite's Heal, Naga's Siren Song if they get in trouble. I mean, it's very hard for Orange to actually contest this kind of push. Just look at the damage being done to KYXY. He has to mech already. And this is pretty much a lost tower, but they're trying to trade it for top where Mushi is basically tanking the creep wave just to
push a little faster.
Allow himself to push, and it's working out. Surprised to see Zenith backing off here. They really have the lineup to force this through, but Yamate holding top.
The tower
alone.
Up. Are they gonna go here? Extinct. Oh, nice open wounds. Keeps him out of a good impale.
Bottom, however, here we are.
Oh, it's a massive number of heroes TPing in. Juggernaut ult. The sleep is too late. You cannot sleep a Juggernaut while he's Omni slashing. He is invulnerable. Gets the kill. The Naga will TP out, try to disengage, and they're not going to go. But now, suddenly, it's the other way. Orange may be the ones pushing, and they got the tier 2 top, and Mushi got it. He's got to have his Orchid now, and I think he does.
And again, it's a weird decision from Zenith. They have a Tinker who can always TP to try to defend towers. Of course, it's difficult against the heroes that were top right then for the Radiant, and maybe they might have just had to take the trade there, but they TP up the Lifestealer and leave the 4 others to fight in this 4-on-3 even that they lost because of the late Song of the Siren. So again, it seems like they're not on the same page, and now they're trying to TP in Ice. This is probably going to end in a kill very early. Nice disruption coming out of net, blocking the damage, and this might be KYXY surviving this. Nice vacuum as well. Gets 4, and now they just need to get the hell out of there.
Mushi's here with his Orchid. Ice overextends. He'll drop now. Ice in trouble. Yamate goes into the net at KYXY, but he is still very tanky. Mushi's got 2. Mushi wants more. Defensive infest. Yamate trying to run. He gets perched, though. There's no way out for Yamate. He's going to drop here in a moment. Blinking forward. Mushi with the ult. You can tell that he's excited about that one. Mushi with the triple. Oh, man. You can just feel Mushi. Like, he really wants to kill Yamate right now.
Exactly. You could just tell there was absolutely no need to Sonic Wave that, but he wanted him so bad on that.
Man, I like Mushi when he's a little bit angry. I like you like this, Mushi. Play this way more often. Yeah, he's playing exceptionally well. Look at his net worth. Orchid level 13, getting up to another 2,000 gold.
And the graph, we said Orange had to find momentum. We were a little bit worried for a moment, but they've definitely found this stride after that. They're up by 5,000 experience and 7.5k gold. And once the map control ceases to be there for Zenith, it's going to be difficult for Tinker to actually get out and deal with it, because he needs to be worried about the Nyx Assassin, and he needs to be worried about the Shadow Demon coming with smoke ganks. And this time, Orange, looks like they've learned from the last game, very fast gem coming out of net at this point. Well, it's 20 minutes in, but it's the right time. They feel like they're in a commanding position and just looking to make it even bigger.
Boy, if Mushi's able to get a Hex, nowhere will be safe for this Tinker. Heck for the Necrolite as well. And especially with Nyx Assassin on the map. If that Hex comes out, I mean, Zenith, they already have a hard time leaving the base and pushing, and it's just going to get so much harder. Especially because, Sin, they only have 2 outer towers left, and we're 20 minutes in. I thought they had the pushing lineup, but apparently they don't. Orange winning the fights and taking the towers.
And I feel like a big part of the pressure in this game has been applied by Darkseer being top, because it's disallowed Zenith a lot from moving like they want. That Darkseer has always been pressuring that, and as we speak of that, bot lane's going to get pressured as well. There we go. Orchid from Mushi disallows the Rage, and in comes Nyx Assassin with the Vendetta as well as Impale. So another quick kill, and immediately smoking up, looking for more. This is so aggressive play from Orange, but they're sitting on the map control, so why not?
Net and Extinct, this is what they love to do. This is their bread and butter, just constant aggression once they get those core levels and items up. And the early gem, they're going to walk into a Sentry, so they know this smoke gank shouldn't really work anymore. They're not denying it yet, but they're going to let the creeps kill the ward. Still, it should be very obvious that there's some supports here. If Zenith was watching the map, which I'm not sure if they were, because Ice just farming mid by himself, they're going to close the net on him now. This is a mistake by Ice. He gets disrupted and soul catchered, and he's just going to melt. Look at the chain stun. Oh, those supports should have been watching that. Meanwhile, Mushi's finding the solo kill on Leshrac, and this is just a bloodbath at this point for Orange.
Yeah, I mean, we still can't count Zenith out because of the nature of their lineup, but if they keep getting picked off like this, especially like you said, the ward in mid got countered, and I think Ice in the last game as well got caught out like that in a position where I think, somebody just found an invis in that last game, and he still stayed mid and paid for his life. And these kind of mistakes are really costly unless, oh wait, was that Mushi? I think it was Mushi who died in the last game, so never mind that. He actually stayed with the Queen of Pain, so it's a one-on-one in that regard, but it's, don't get me wrong, it's really hard being Zenith right now. Like, I guess this kind of lineup without map control, it's a nightmare always playing against a Nyx and a strong Queen of Pain like this, but I mean, what are you gonna do now? You've built a lineup that focuses on brute forcing. You tried brute forcing, it didn't work at the bottom tier 1 tower, which they didn't even claim, lost the fight and lost the tower. And now it feels like the map control is just gone for them and everything is stalling, and they can't catch a break, so
yeah, I'm not
gonna have to fall back and farm, I guess.
They don't have wards out. It's so dangerous for the supports of Zenith to go and farm. They're just gonna bait the Leshrac now. He's got Lifesteal infested inside of him. I mean, I guess this is something clever that you just gotta do, but they can't go ward. They can't get any vision up. Tinker really can't leave the base. He has the Blink Dagger. Even if you shift Q, I mean, during that time while you're rearming in the trees, you can get caught by a creature like Queen of Pain, who should have the Hex soon. So, I mean, it's up. Here we go. Mid lane, they want to go into this Juggernaut, but he's not the one you want to initiate upon. And Extinct's lurking on the high ground. He's up to 1,500 gold. We may see him go for a Blink Dagger. And if you have a Queen of Pain with the Hex and a Blink on the Darkseer, or on the Nyx Assassin, good luck ever. I mean, not even leaving the base. Good luck in your base. Also, Darkseer's a pipe. And I found there was an interview with with Brax recently, and he said a team needs a few things to win a game. They need to be able to break the base, and to do that, you need mech, pipe, about a 20k gold lead, or maybe it's 15k, and an Aegis. And Orange, right now they're missing the Aegis, and that's pretty much it.
That's very true. They're looking at a big lead at this point. And I feel like the big comeback option... Oh, wow, nice blink from Mushi. Actually sees the net coming there. The ensnare from X-Freedom and gets out. Of course, Blink can disjoint this, being the physical projectile that it is. But I think that the comeback option here for Zenith is X-Freedom. They need a big Song of the Siren, get the marches onto that, and get the team fight that they have been looking for. But I feel like they're not really trying to accomplish it, because they have had some options where Orange are actually going 3 or 4, maybe even 5 heroes together. That's when they have to try their combo, but they're really intimidated right now.
Oh, they wasted their glyph too, so Orange are gonna have an easier time. Well, never mind, the creep wave's gone.
Yeah, Tinko.
It is.
Good luck.
They really need KYXY there if they want to get this tower, but he's currently pressuring top. Extinct's just lurking, Net's just lurking. We're gonna see a lane ward. Nice ward by him. Although the support, the Nyx was spotted, they did not. Oh no, sorry. They did see the Shadow Demons. They should know there's a ward here.
Yeah, you've just got to say, I mean, looking at lifestealer's items at this point, we're 25 minutes in, he's got Phase Boots, Drum, and not even an armlet. That's what you want to have perhaps 15 minutes in if you're having a good game. It's just showing how much Yamate has been struggling on this offlane. And what have we got for the Juggernaut? He's got a Battle Fury, he's got Drum, Phase Boots, Ring of Basilius. I mean, he's ahead by quite a margin, and it's all the tower gold as well as 30 additional CS that he's got on Yamate at this point. So that bottom lane, they didn't really seem to work out at all as an investment for Zenith.
And Mushi's
and
got
there's the Hex. Oh dear.
This is
and a regen rune. I mean, why not?
This is a Mushi club. I gotta say, this is what Orange should be doing. I wasn't convinced by the Mushi mag, neither were you. And this is their comfort zone. We may see a Queen of Pain ban next game. I mean, even if somehow Zenith wins this. Because, oh boy, this is Mushi's bread and butter.
He's been doing exceptionally well this game. A lot better than the last game, in my opinion, in which he played well, but in this game he's just been dominating the map and being at the right place at the right time. Apart from that one death he had at bottom, a little bit of a mistake. Can't really put a finger on his play.
They're baiting Ice 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 mid. The Song of Siren's used to disengage. Lifestealer's infested inside of X-Freedom, but they're just running. Tinker blinks away. Barely, no, he got stunned by the Spike Carapace because of the March of the Machines. There comes the ult from Ice Ice Ice. Juggernaut ult bouncing through the creeps, and the mech is up. Doesn't matter. Mushi is here. And Mushi once more. He gets the double kill. And GG.
That was the sound of
wow.
Death.
Yeah, I feel like I was expecting the fight to break out there in mid. They got the Song of the Siren off on 3 or 4 heroes, and the Tinker March started out, but it was as a disengage because they were already initiated upon. And if they can't take the commanding position in this kind of fight, they can't take it in any fight. And Tinker, the problem for him is, if you look at the Blink Dagger build, it's got its strengths and it's got its weaknesses. The weakness being his mana pool. He's got Rearm level 1. The time it takes him to get off these multiple marches is really high, and he doesn't have, I mean, 700 mana for a Tinker at 27 minutes? You can't get your stuff out for these kind of fights, and yeah, it's at the end of the day, one mana burn is going to lock you down. So
well, Zenith are going to get one last kill.
They tried something, it didn't work, and Orange just keep dominating. This was very, very one-sided, much more so than the first game. And Zenith, they need to think up something new to find an opening against Orange. It looks like.
It looks like Yamate, he's going to get a nice little kill there on net, and that's like, well, I thought you called GG. Apparently not. And in the meantime, we're going to be headed to Game 3 soon. If you're a Zenith, you tried something a little unorthodox, but what do you have to do to come back into the series?
I think the communication seems to be some sort of an issue right now. It doesn't seem like they're completely clear about what they want to do in the game. The game plan doesn't really seem to be there, and when they're executing fights, it doesn't look like they're completely on the same page, so I think some more clear calls. Oh wow, is Darkseid really surviving this? Are you kidding me?
He's so bad.
I mean, They need some more clear calls and some clear decision making. I feel like in the first game they actually had a really good shot at it, but then they made some bad decisions and eventually lost. And the movement of the supports, and especially the picks that they have on their supports here, it kind of encouraging some potential ganks when you have Naga Siren, Endless Rack. Even if it's a Queen of Pain in mid, if that ensnare lands, you have a kill. But they didn't even try. XY was left to rot in the mid lane, to say it like it was. He was losing and he got no help, so he lost and he lost more, then he got killed, lost even more, and then Mushi just ran over the map. And the top lane was impossible as well. The rotation from Leshrac didn't even give them a kill, so they did try a couple of things, they didn't work, and all the success was just on Orange's side, so... I think the unorthodox idea was okay, but the execution just wasn't there. And it's easy to sit on the sidelines and say, but they need to hit their spells on the targets and get the job done.
Well, finally Net's gonna leave since Zenith apparently want this fake win. They're probably just talking the game over, maybe getting a quick bathroom break or something like that. But guys, stay tuned. This is a best out of 3. Currently, Mushi getting the edge of his on his former teammate Yamate. No love lost between these two. It is a best out of 5, though. Zenith could strike back. A lot of people I talked to in the scene who are familiar with these teams really felt that Zenith would have the edge with their more versatile drafting, but it seems like they just were not prepared for the Mushi Quap. They've been banning that mag. It has not really worked out. We'll see if they can turn it back, but currently, Orange leading the best out of 5, 2-0. I'm LD. I'm joined here by Cinderin. We'll be back soon with Game 2. Stay tuned for that, guys. I meant Game 3. I meant Game 3.